Going on a cruise, boarding date doesn't have to be confusing. In fact, cruising is one of the easiest ways to travel. However, there are a few things that you must do in 2026, and some tips have changed. In this video, I share what has actually changed, what to expect, and how to plan so that your embarkation day is both stress-free and the perfect start to your cruise. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, if you are cruising this year, it is going to be amazing, but I do know that I've heard from some people who are a little bit confused about some of the new travel rules and if and how that may affect their check-in and their boarding. Now, what I will do in this video is I'm going to share with you the information that I've been asked about from A to Z. So we're going to start at check-in, go through some of the different questions, and of course, share the tips and tricks that you need to know along the way. And just because I have been asked about this in terms of being denied boarding, I will share the very rare cases in which this can actually happen. But when you have this information, it will not happen to you. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Online check-in. Now, this is something that every cruiser must do these days. So don't just show up at your cruise port. And as an aside, due to the fact that we did do the online check-in, we actually caught an issue that had we ended up at the port, really could have ended up that one of the people in our travel party would have been denied boarding. So it actually is quite important. Now, when do you do your online check-in? It's going to depend on your cruise line. Now, if you're sailing with Royal Caribbean or Celebrity, it is typically done 45 days before your cruise. If you're sailing with Carnival, it is 14 days. If you're sailing with Norwegian Cruise Line, it is 21 days. If you're sailing with Princess, it is 60 days, but not to worry because usually your cruise line is going to send you an email that indicates that your boarding documents are ready and that it is time to complete your online check-in. However, what some people do, because oftentimes your online check-in is the time that you're also choosing your boarding time. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll set a little note in their calendar and even sometimes set an alarm for midnight so that they can choose the earliest embarkation time. Now, personally, I like to choose the earliest embarkation time possible because then you have the most time to enjoy your cruise on embarkation day. Now, just a little tip, this can vary a little bit by cruise line, and Princess Cruises, for instance, no longer has any boarding time, so you can just show up, and Holland America, from our experience, simply assigns boarding times. Boarding time versus arrival time. Now, this is a mistake that many cruisers make. Remember that the time that you board is not necessarily the time that you should arrive. And you should leave some extra time for parking and for traffic before boarding. Now, something important, especially if you have one of those later arrival times, is not to cut it too close because that is where some people in very rare cases have been actually denied boarding. And that's because cruise lines do have a cutoff time. Typically, it's 90 minutes before the ship is due to sail away, that even if you show up at that point, unfortunately, they're not usually able to allow you to board the ship. Now, I do have another video all about reasons that people have actually been denied boarding where I go into detail about why that is, and I will leave that at the end of this video in case that can be helpful. Online check-in in 2026 and what is required. Now, this is where I've seen a little bit of confusion, so I am going to go through it. First, you want to make sure that you download the latest version of your cruise line's app. That's going to make sure that nothing is glitchy. And while you can usually do your online check-in directly on the cruise line website, usually it just is better to do it on your phone because there are a couple of limitations if you do it on desktop instead of your phone. Now, when it comes to your check-in, what is required? Now, first, it does take about 15 to 20 minutes, but it is not complicated, I promise you. First, you're going to want to make sure that you check your name and your birth date and just make sure that that is correct according to your passport or your government issued identification. You also want to check the birth date. I say this because that is the issue that we had with one of the people in our travel party. Thank goodness we did our check-in in advance and we got this sorted with our travel advisor, and the cruise line, so we were fine. Now, you also do need to upload your identification. Now, when it comes to having a passport, just simply take a photo and you will see the instructions. So it really is not anything complicated. And otherwise, you can usually manually input this information. You will upload a photo or take a selfie. Now, the only thing required to take that selfie is to be in a relatively well-lit room. And also not to worry, because you're going to have the instructions right on your phone. And if you do have an issue, you can just call the cruise line and they usually will tell you that the photo can be taken right at the embarkation port. Now, you'll also be asked for an emergency contact with their phone number and email, and a method of payment such as a credit card to have on file. And finally, you'll have to agree to the terms and conditions or the cruise contract. Now, super important, this must be done at least 24 hours before your cruise. Now, if you do not do this and you show up at the port, usually you can still embark, but just remember that now you need to have an embarkation check-in agent that is going to go through all of that information with you, and that can delay your boarding. Now, there is also a health questionnaire, but we will talk about that soon. Documentation required and what can lead to being denied boarding. Now, something that a lot of people aren't aware of is that a passport has to, in most cases, have at least 6 months remaining before the expiry date. And that's because a lot of countries actually require that as a rule. So make sure that you do check your expiry date, because if it is less than 6 months, there is a possibility that you can be denied boarding. Now, the other thing is, if you're not traveling with a passport and you are a US citizen and you are traveling with other documentation, what you need is an original birth certificate. So that is state issued. That is not a baptismal certificate or something from the hospital, as well as state-issued photo ID like a driver's license. But a mistake that some cruisers make, even experienced ones, is thinking that this applies to all cruises. And in some cases, it has actually had people denied boarding. So this applies to most closed-loop cruises that are leaving from one US port and returning to another US port. But there are some exceptions, including if it stops in Panama, Colombia, or Martinique. But this is information that is often available on the cruise line website. Visas. Now, this is something that has changed in the last few months and even going into the next year. So if you are traveling abroad, make sure that you do know what visas are required. Now, in particular, if you are heading on a cruise that is leaving or going through the UK, you do now need the UK ETA, and you can find this, it's very inexpensive, at the official government website. And if you are traveling with minor children who are not yours, you may be required to get a notarized letter signed by the parent or legal guardian. Now, by the way, if you're going on a cruise and you want to make sure that you stay organized and that you do not forget a thing, I do have the LifeWell Cruise Ultimate Cruise Planner. Now, this is a 47-page downloadable printable planner that includes cruise packing lists, an embarkation day checklist, shore excursion planning forms, and more. And because it is a printable downloadable planner, you can print out only the pages that you want for as many cruises as you go on. Now, I'll leave all of the information down below in the description of this video in case you want to check it out. Download your boarding pass and print out your luggage tags. Now, once you complete your online check-in, you'll be able to print out your boarding passes if you want. Now, some cruise lines still require you to print out your boarding pass, in particular Carnival, whereas most other cruise lines now allow you to simply have this on your app. Now, something that I do and I suggest that you do is screenshot your boarding pass, because oftentimes, for whatever reason, the Wi-Fi in the cruise terminal is often a little bit glitchy and you may not be able to access it, which can delay boarding. Now, these luggage tags are made of paper, so something that I like to do is I just have some plastic reusable luggage tag holders and I slip those paper luggage tags right in there, and I just put them in there the morning of my cruise. This way they do not fall off. Now I just buy them on Amazon. I will leave the link to the luggage tag holders as well as other cruise essentials down in the description below the video in case that can be helpful. Save any email confirmations. Now, if you have email confirmations regarding your cruise, maybe you have some additional onboard credit, maybe you purchased some packages, maybe you booked excursions. Something that I like to do is either print those or save them in an email file that you can access later if you do run into any issues. Now, we will get to the boarding day and what you need to know at check-in, including the health questionnaire, but first you want to prep for your boarding day. Now, prep for your boarding day by first making a carry-on bag. That carry-on bag should have everything that you need for the first few hours of your cruise because it is going to take several hours before your checked luggage does arrive. Now, you can also put inside your carry-on bag a swimsuit, your valuables, your medication. So really think about what is absolutely necessary for those first few hours. And super important, a little bit of housekeeping, make sure that you do fly in at least one day before. Nowadays, there can be weather-related issues, there can be delays in your flight, and just other reasons that your plane may not arrive on time. And unfortunately, that cruise ship doesn't wait. Now, if you have any mobility or accessibility issues, if you are arriving with a wheelchair or a scooter, or if you need to rent one, you will find special needs forms on your cruise line website, or you can also talk with your travel agent or cruise line. But you do want to make sure that they are advised and that you are advised of any requirements. Boarding day. First thing, set up the expectations. Expect a little bit of a lineup or sometimes a lot of a lineup, no matter what time you go. But in our experience, it usually does move pretty quickly. Most of the time, we're on board a cruise ship within 15 to 30 minutes after we arrive. Now, once you get to the check-in desk, it is pretty quick. They're going to verify your ID. Sometimes they may ask to verify your credit card as well. So make sure that you do have that with you. And they usually are going to go through at that point a very short health questionnaire. Now, this is not the same as it was during the pandemic or even right after the pandemic. This is a very short questionnaire, very similar to, for anybody who cruised even 10 years ago, the same thing. You're going to be asked if you had a fever recently, vomiting, or maybe even have been in contact with anybody who's had norovirus within the last few days. And for those who are wondering, they're no longer asking for any vaccine information. Check-in luggage, and can you bring your checked luggage directly on to the cruise ship? Now, this is something that I'm asked often these days, and I definitely don't suggest that you do. First, that luggage actually has to fit through the X-ray machine. So you have to imagine this is very similar to an airport, and typically a carry-on size fits, something larger may not. At the same time, if you bring your checked luggage right onto the cruise ship, you're going to have to lug around big checked luggage until your cabin is ready. So you do not want to do that. Now, what you do when you get to the cruise terminal is you're going to have porters that are available right outside, and they're going to put your luggage onto a cart, and that's going to be brought directly from the cruise line. Now, in my experience, the porters are great. They're going to ask you usually, do you have your passport with you and your documents? You want to make sure that you do not have them in your checked luggage. That really is the most important thing. And as long as you drop your luggage off at the right cruise ship, I do know of somebody who made a mistake and did not do that, but your luggage is going to make it onto the cruise ship. Now, just a little tip, if you're cruising out of North America at least, it is customary to give the porters a small tip, so have some small bills handy. The gangway. Now, once you go through the check-in process, you're going to head to the gangway, and it really is a great atmosphere when you step off the gangway and you get onto that cruise ship and you just see that wonderful atmosphere. Now, there are some things that you really want to make sure that you do between now and sail away. The first thing that you should do is head over to your muster station for your safety check-in. Now, I like to do this right away nowadays, just so it's not something that's hanging over my head. And there is also a safety video that you can watch, typically on your phone if you have the cruise line app downloaded, which you should, or otherwise in your stateroom on the TV. Drop off your carry-on at your cabin. Now, sometimes your cabin is going to be ready on some cruise ships, but otherwise it may only be ready sometime after lunch. And in which case you'll just keep your carry-on bag or your backpack with you. Now, when it comes to lunch, look for an alternative restaurant to the buffet. There's nothing wrong with the buffet, but it does tend to be a little bit chaotic. So something that we like to do is look for one of the restaurants, either that is free, but that is casual, that's going to have some great casual food, or even a restaurant that might be included in our dining package. Book any dining or shows. Now, many cruise lines have gone online for this in advance of your cruise. So if you've already booked all of this, you do not have to do this. But there are still some cruise lines that when you board, you might have to do your dining reservations. And in some cases, it's because they've actually left some dining spaces over so that for people who weren't able to book in advance, they can do this once they get on the cruise. So definitely this is something that you'll want to do as soon as you finish lunch or even when you board your cruise. Visit the Kids or Teens Club. Now, if this is your first cruise, or maybe you are grandparents and you're taking your kids on your cruise, even if you've registered them online in advance, something that you'll want to do is they usually have about 2 hours. That's a bit of an open house on embarkation day, sometimes between 1 and 3 or 2 and 4. You want to make sure that you go then. This is a time you're going to be able to meet the animators or counselors. Your kids are going to be able to meet other kids, and everybody's just going to get more comfortable. And from our experience and the experience of many of our friends, if they waited, it really is harder for their kids to kind of be able to go and feel really comfortable. So this is something I think for parents is an absolute must. Relax and enjoy the cruise ship's facilities. Now, this is where I suggest that you bring a bathing suit or even closed-toed shoes on the first day of your cruise, because oftentimes the water slides and some of the other amenities, depending on the ship that you're on, they're going to be open and they're not going to be busy on embarkation day. So you might as well take advantage of that. But even if you just want to relax by the pool, that is something that you can do as well. And what you can do is put your bathing suit on either underneath your clothes, or you can pack it in your carry-on bag. See your cabin and meet your cabin attendant. Now, these days, it seems like it takes a little while for the cabin attendant to actually get a chance to meet you. I think it's because they do have so much work to do, but still you will be able to get in your cabin, unpack your carry-on bag, put your valuables away in your safe, and the luggage will usually take a couple of more hours to arrive. So sometime before dinner, you'll usually get that, and you can take that opportunity to unpack. Be ready to enjoy Sail Away. Now, even though I've taken over 50 cruises, this is still the moment that I just stop everything and I really just enjoy this time. Now, you can enjoy Sail Away at the Sail Away party on the top deck. Something that I like to do is just look over the side even and just watch the port getting further away. I love this. You might also want to go to your balcony and maybe just enjoy some champagne or just enjoy that great atmosphere. And recently what we did is we were on the very back of the ship, the aft, and my son and I, we were just watching the wake, and he was very stressed from work. And something that I told him is I said, just breathe in and just remember that all of that stress, you are leaving that on the shore. And it was something that he told me really did help. And it was just such an enjoyable vacation after that. Now, I am going to leave that video about being denied boarding right after this, but I do think it's important to remember that cruise lines don't want to stop people from boarding, but it is important that we do the right things to ensure that we do not have any problems. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.